Hello, Jungle Explorer here again, and today I'm going to be talking about the Remington Nylon 66. This is an antique weapon made back in the 60s. I'm not sure of the exact production dates of it, but it is, I don't know, it's one of my favorite 22 long rifles of all times. I'm sure there's going to be many people that are going to argue for their guns, but I just like this gun. And I'm not the only one. If you were to find one today in good shape, you would pay many hundreds of dollars for it. I got this one off a guy who really didn't know what he had and had not taken very good care of it. And so it was kind of rusted up pretty bad. I kind of cleaned it up a little bit. One of these days, to get some extra money, I'll go have it redone and make it look like new. But basically, it still works beautifully even after all this time and abuse. It's still a well-functioning gun. When they first came out, people didn't like them because they got the plastic stock or the nylon stock, and people thought they looked kind of like a BB gun. And in fact, Grossman later made some BB guns to mimic them. But actually, they're really durable. One of the reasons I wanted a Remington Nylon was really mainly for nostalgia. My dad had one before I was born, and he was a missionary down in Mexico back in the 50s. And back then he didn't have a lot of support, and he actually had to survive off the land. He was a survivalist, and this was his weapon. This is what he brought home, meat for the family, and supported himself with. A lot of the local ranches had problems with predators and coyotes, and so he'd go out and contract hunt and take out predators with his Nylon 66, kill the coyotes and the bobcats, and they would pay him for that, and that's how he supported his ministry. And so, you know, he traveled around Mexico. He even went all the way down to Panama, Nicaragua, and he had that faithful Nylon 66 with him. You know, in the 60s, of course. Then, you know, one story that he told me was he was actually camping. He had gone up to Canada. He was headed up to work with the Eskimos, and he had gone up through Canada, and they were camped out along somewhere in Canada. I'm not sure where, just out in the wilderness, and they had a tent in their car, and two black bears came in on them, and they felt threatened, and they were getting aggressive, and the family hid in the car, and the bears were scratching on the car and stuff, and so all he had was his Nylon 66, and he killed both of those full-grown Canadian black bears with his 22 long rifle. His Nylon 66 defended his family. So I grew up hearing those stories about it, so I really wanted it, so I ran across it. And man, I'm just so happy to have one now. Just really love this gun. It doesn't look like much. I have many other 22 long rifles. I have several Ruger 1022s and Marlins and other guns, but this one right here, just my favorite. There's a few things that I really think that are superior about it. The sighting system, and I don't know if you can show it on the camera. It really is a good print on the target. You could, even though I'm older now and have failing eyesight, you know, I'm getting kind of farsighted, I can still draw a good bead with this, and I can really shoot very accurately with the type of sights. Seems like most modern guns nowadays don't put much attention to the actual iron sights, so because most people want to use a scope. But this gun was back in the days before everybody used a scope, and they really knew how to make a good iron sight. Another thing I like about it is actually how it loads. Just totally unique. Loads right in the butt there. It holds 14 rounds, and you know, just slide them in there and put your sleeve tube in. But you know, one of the things that people complained about with the Nylon 66 was that this little tube could fall out the butt. It locks in like that. It just, you know, you twist it down and lock it. But some people wouldn't get it all the way, and they'd be walking around the woods, and it'd fall out, and all their bullets would fall out, and then they'd never find this thing again. And so then they would have this gun. Well, when I bought the gun, it didn't actually have the tube, and you know, you can get these aftermarket nowadays. But you know, here's a great thing. If you have say a Ruger 1022 and you don't have a magazine for it, it is almost impossible to load that thing. But not so with the Nylon 66. All you got to do, you know, get you some bullets in your hand here. So all you got to really do is just drop that bullet right in there. You got to hold it down and jack that slide back. Ready? Fire. It's easy to load this thing. Put that bullet in there. Just drop it in there. I mean, it's easy to load as a single shot. You don't have any difficulty in it, so that works really good. You can load 14 rounds into the butt here. I mean, into the magazine or the tube, magazine tube. Make sure you get them going forwards. Hold 14 rounds. I don't know, lost count. Just put that many in there, however many that is. It's just a really reliable gun. It just you know, this is an antique gun. It fires amazing. So I'm just going to shoot a few rounds over the Chrony here, just kind of see what it does. The Remington Gold bullet is not the best ammunition. It's just budget ammunition, so you don't get a whole lot of consistency. But I will tell you that the Nylon 66 is actually, at least to my old ears, a lot quieter than the Ruger 1022. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because it's the shrouded barrel. I don't know, but it actually is a lot quieter. So let's just shoot it over the Chrony here, and let's see what we get. Shot 1, 1,344 feet per second. Shot 2, okay. See, this Remington Gold bullet stuff, it really is all over the place. Okay, so we're getting 1,300 feet per second, over 1,300 feet per second. Now I'm just going to do a little target shooting at a target I got set up there at 30 yards, and just go ahead and see what she does on paper. Open sights again, and let me go ahead and see what happens. So we can see here that it did pretty good out there at 30 yards with open sights. I was using a full sight there and off of this bucket here, and did pretty good. I pulled a few here or there. It's kind of windy today, and it's kind of moving around, but most of those bullets are in about a dime size space, maybe a nickel. That little white circle is a 100 yard minute of angle target there, so you can see I put them pretty close together there. I mean, I can shoot a bullseye at 80 feet just with the iron sights on it. If you ever get a chance to get one, you know, I just can't see a gun collection being complete without the Nylon 66. It's just that good of a gun. There's many other guns out there, and maybe it's just nostalgic about it because of the stories my father told me, but I've had the gun now and I've used it, and it is one of my preferred 22 weapons, and I'll never get rid of it. I'll pass it on to my grandchildren. So there you have it, my personal opinion about the Nylon 66, and just I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned something from it. If it has been useful to you, please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.